Hello, my name's Lizzie. I'm Anglican. 2 weeks tomorrow I'm going to be moving into a convent ready to become a postulant. I've lived in this flat for about 6 years now, but tomorrow I will be getting the last of my things out and handing in my keys to the landlord. So basically this evening is my last evening of living independently. So I thought I would show you bits of my evening and at the same time give you a bit of a tour around my kind of area where I live as well. My bedroom doesn't really look any different from my video I made about 2 days ago. I'm trying to organise things so that everything that's going to the convent stays on these shelves and then will go in convent labelled bags so that it doesn't get mixed up with just other stuff I'm using over this next fortnight, if that makes any sense. I'm going to do probably tomorrow morning I'm going to do a video on what I'm taking to the convent because I thought that might be interesting to people. My living room does look different from the other day because I've got rid of even more stuff. So I've just got that, which was actually supposed to be for storing pots and pans on, but I've got that in the corner and really not much else. This is my toiletries video I made this afternoon uploading. Where are we at? 62%. It takes about they take about 1 to 2 hours each to upload these videos. But, it's very echoey in here. So the last bits I've got to do is just like take down my pictures, and tomorrow I'm just going to be mainly scrubbing these, cleaning the kind of skirting board bits and just like thoroughly cleaning the carpets. I've done a lot in the kitchen today. I just need to clean like the inside of the oven and the what do you call them, the racks and things, so it's a bit messy because I'm sort of midway through cleaning, but I believe all my cupboards are bare now. I've just got one shelf of things in here, and then for food, because I've got really not much means of cooking. In fact, I'm going to go for I'm going to sort of have dinner out in a park now, so I've got yogurt for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch tomorrow, and this prawn salad thingy, which would be my evening meal. I'll show you the outside of my building because I don't think I've ever shown that in videos, and now that I no longer live there it doesn't really matter that I'm showing it. It's just 4 stories, and where am I? These 2 windows here, you might even be able to see flowers in the right hand one. Those 2 windows there. So that's me. Oh, hang on. Sorry, the zoom's annoying. So this is the road I live in, and that is Leicester train station just at the bottom of this road, and a skyscraper. This has been locked already because people often they drink in there and have fights and things, but this is just a little park which I don't really come in much because there are so many people like sitting here drinking and things in the day and arguing, but it does look nice. It's got a little pond in the middle which I can see from my bedroom window, so I've often looked at the pond to see what the weather's doing in terms of whether it's raining or windy or whatever. So that's at least been a nice little view from my flat. And this is the back of a restaurant, so it can be quite noisy with deliveries and glass recycling and all of that. So that's my building there, and if I turn left I go into this quite nice area of like terraced houses. I don't know what era because I'm rubbish at that kind of thing, but and these all have names as well. They all look very similar to each other, which I guess I know that people from America comment on how they like all these like identical houses in England, because I guess that's not so common in other countries. If I look at this, Stanley House 1888 is what it says on there. So this is what it looks like directly outside, I mean like directly when you turn the corner from my road, so it immediately looks very different. The buildings around here, they look very nice on the outside, but they're actually quite, not derelict, but they're quite rough, and I think that the people that live in them are actually people that, and there's someone coming, that I think they're places that don't cost too much to live in, but I think quite a lot of these are actually like hostels as well, or have people that are in like supported accommodation. This is my nearest shop, and this gentleman just said that it was fine for me to film his shop. So I'm actually on the edge of the like the predominantly Muslim neighbourhood. So you'll see in a minute there are quite a lot of specifically Muslim shops, and even this shop sells halal food. This is the main shopping area, or kind of row of shops of the neighbourhood that my flat looks out over, as it were. This is the main road that I live off. It's actually like the ring road that goes around the city centre. Now we're right at the top of that busy road, about 5 minutes walk from my flat, if that. I don't know if the sun's actually causing problems with this recording. And then right at the top of this hill is a big park called Victoria Park, which is more the kind of park, this is where I go jogging, but it's the kind of park, it's not one with lots of flowers, it's the kind where there's lots of space for playing football and that kind of thing. But on a Sunday afternoon there's still quite a lot of people just sitting there having picnics and whatnot. The sun went in just as I started filming. This is Victoria Park, or Vicky Park as it gets called. This is where I've been doing my jogging, and these buildings in the background are the University of Leicester buildings, I believe. I think so anyway. I just fetched this football that strayed towards me and return it to the guys playing with it. Right next to Victoria Park there's a kind of like a concert hall. I've no idea what's going on here. There seems to be an event of flags and lights and classical music, so maybe I'll just sit and eat my food around here somewhere and have some free music in the background. This is the really pretty pedestrian path that links Victoria Park with the oldest part of the city centre. You might have watched my weekend in my life video, and across here is the bench that I've spent many mornings, afternoons in the summer reading, praying, writing my journal. That's one of my favourite spots when it's a bit warmer and sunnier. And this route, if I'm going to the cathedral from my flat, or even when I was going to work and I wanted to take the scenic route, this route only takes about 2 or 3 minutes longer than the other far less pretty route. So I have made use of this path a lot, and it's beautiful at night when the lamps are lit, and it's beautiful in the snow actually, in winter obviously, and when it felt not safe enough to jog around Victoria Park, like in the winter when it went dark, when it got dark earlier, I would just run up and down here because I felt safe here, because the lights are on and there are always students walking up and down this path. So this has been my running track as well, so I've made a lot of use out of this path. It's called New Walk. Here you can see New Walk and that park that I was just mentioning that I like to sit in. And then if we go down just here, that building at the bottom of this road is actually the building I live in. That brown building, that one there, is the building I live in. It's got a spa and a restaurant on the ground floor on this side. And then this is the restaurant next door that I mentioned that I live next to. This is Sue Ryder, the charity shop where I've been taking a lot of my stuff. On this side of the road, this is Costa Coffee, where I've come many times, and I've had lots of conversations with the staff there, including a lot of conversation about Christianity. And just there is Leicester train station, so you can see what I mean about living right next to the railway station. I thought I'd show you the train station a bit closer up because I think it's really nice. I guess it's Victorian. And then I've done quite a few video clips of me walking along this bit of stretch of road, but down there, if you turn the corner next to this white building in the distance, that's then one of the main shopping roads of Leicester city centre. So the very, very centre of the city is 5 minutes walk from here, 10 minutes walk from here. I live right next to a taxi rank. It's just starting to rain. I'm back on the corner of my road now, and there's the mosque that I mentioned earlier, and this Dawn Centre is a hostel for people with quite high support needs, and I live just up here on the right.